I'm 36 years old, and I'm about $3 million in medical debt. After a heart attack, open heart surgery, and life support, I was 8 weeks in the hospital. I'm a retired veteran or medically disabled veteran. And you would think they would cover it. I showed a video like this when I first got to the hospital back in November, and I showed this bill right here, totaling $500,000.
What?
And everyone said, it's not $500,000. You only owe $22,000. Your insurance paid the rest. Yes. Yes, you're correct. But what about these other hundreds of bills that I haven't even opened some of? Let me give you an example. This one says amount $1,400. Veteran responsibility. The VA only covered $400. I owe $12. Let's get another one.
A lot of times I don't really have sympathy for people who put themselves in debt. But when you're ex-military, I feel like the least that they can do is make sure that you're taken care of. At least your health care is taken care of for the rest of your life. Like, at least that. At least that.
$1,200. $22,000. Veteran responsibility, $500. VA only approved $134. I owe $424. Veteran responsibility, $2,080. The VA only approved $432. I owe $1,647. I could keep going with this. I have hundreds of bills that I haven't opened. I don't know when I'm going to get around to it. It gives me anxiety. Yes, I'm still on hundreds of medications that I need to survive. Good news is I just got pulled off of dialysis. I no longer need dialysis. Well, I surgically have this placed into my chest, this device, as you can see here, and it needs to be removed surgically, anesthesia. Guess what? The hospital that put it in called me yesterday and told me the VA denied it.
No fucking way, bro. So he got to walk around with a tube in his neck because the VA won't approve the removal, but they approved getting it put in, but they probably also won't approve more medical procedures. Like, this is kind of, that last part of speculation, but this is kind of wild, bro. I really just think people that risk their lives for the country, people that risk their lives for the freedom for me to be able to sit here and talk to you through a YouTube video, for you to be able to mostly sit through a YouTube video and not have nothing bad happen to you, depending on your surroundings, where you live. Like, I just think that it's nuts that this man is sitting on $500,000 worth of debt from a procedure, from something that he didn't foresee coming. And majority of our tax dollars are put into the military. So they need to take a large portion of that money that we're putting into research and development and move that on over to retired veterans benefits, because this to me is a little bit ridiculous. I'm usually somebody that I didn't always believe this, but now I believe you can put yourself in advantageous situations even if you haven't come from one. I believe that you can take yourself from the bottom to the top and you can make yourself have a prosperous life. But in situations like this, where he did what he was supposed to do, he put his life on the line no matter what his job was in the military. And he made sure that, again, we can have the freedoms that we have today, and he's just not being taken care of.
The VA did not give them the green light to remove it. So I'm stuck with this fucking catheter in my jugular vein through my chest, and the VA won't approve a removal. You wonder why people are pissed off at the American health system. I have millions of dollars in debt after just surviving surgery, open heart, life support, medications for years to come. And they can't approve a fucking catheter removal? This is bullshit.
Yeah, that's rough, man. I got one more video for y'all that we gonna review today.
My husband and I received a medical bill in the mail yesterday, which happens a lot because we have horrible insurance. Hey, Cigna.
Before she goes, bro, I feel her on the hey, Cigna, because I had Cigna insurance. I went to get a teeth cleaning for just my bottom row. And I believe that bill, I end up paying something like $460 just for a teeth cleaning because Cigna is pretty horrible. But I feel her on that already. I'm going to let her continue.
Take that. I need someone to explain this one, however, to me like I'm 5 years old, because I don't understand what the fuck is going on. I don't understand the American healthcare system as a whole, but this bill specifically, really don't understand this. Need y'all to help me get there. Let me explain what this is for. My 5-month-old daughter had a fever last month. We bring her to the doctor like any responsible parent would. They do a nose swab to test for the flu, COVID, all those things because it's cold and flu season. Good decision, right? They send it off. She's good. She's got none of it. The fever goes away in a few days. Great. I assume we're going to get a bill for it because we have horrible insurance. Hey, Cigna. But do I expect to receive this bill? No. I Google it because I'm curious, how much this might cost us. Google says that the max amount in most situations that you'll pay for something like this is about $300. I was like, whoa, that's a lot of money.
That's still a lot of money.
$300, that's a lot. But hey, it's worth it. That's our baby. Of course, we'll pay for that. No big deal. And maybe our insurance will cover a bit of that. So maybe it'll only come out to like $100. We pay for insurance. Maybe they'll do something. Get this bill in the mail yesterday. And when we open it, to our surprise, not $100, not even $300. At this point, I would be happy to see $300. It was
I'm going to guess it was about $1,000.
Not $300. I want you to take a moment to think about it and guess. What would you assume a cotton swab up the nose would cost? Take a guess. Your guess was $984. I don't know why you guessed such a specific number, but you'd be right. Now, this is the part I need explaining. Why does a nose swab that when you Google it says it won't cost nearly $1,000 cost $1,000? Hey, what the fuck is going on?
Bro, I was working at a scrap yard at this point in time. We used to move these big barrels of copper wire like you would see on the light poles and stuff like that. We would move that around and you would strip it with your bare hands, and I was moving some wires or whatever. I probably was doing a little more work than I typically would on this particular day. So I went to Hopkins to get checked out because my back was hurting it wasn't the normal amount of just like workday pain. It was like the next day I woke up and it was hard to stand up out of bed kind of pain. So I go in, the doctor touches my back, 2 fingers, touches the lower back, middle back, upper back. Does this hurt? Does this hurt? Does this hurt? He prescribed me some Motrin and I got a $700 bill in the mail.
What do you mean by that? $1,000 for a Q-tip up a nostril?
Yes, ma'am.
What? Sitting here thinking, why do we have insurance? Why do we go to the doctor? If we went to urgent care, this would have been $50. $50.
That's why we always go to urgent care first.
Done. Oh, speaking of insurance, do you want to know how much they covered? If you guessed like the majority, you would be wrong. If you guessed basically nothing, you'd be right. They covered less than half. We owe $443.27 for a flu nose swab. Why do we have insurance? I need somebody to explain this bill to me. Like, how does that make any sense? How does it make any sense to charge $1,000 for a nose swab? And how does it make any sense that we're paying for insurance that covers less than half of that? Because I'm at a loss. Because I don't know what the fuck's going on. You work in healthcare and you want to help me understand this? Please. Also, if somebody wants to send me $443.27 so we can pay this, that'd be great too. I don't know what to do. Do I call them and like be a Karen and be like, hey, do you know how much gas costs? Like, I don't have an extra $443 laying around to just give you for a nose swab.
But nobody's going to care anyway if you do call them. You can call, you can complain. The price is the price. And if you don't pay it, it'll go to collections. Actually, I'm not sure if they can still send medical bills to collections. I'm not sure. Let me do a quick Google search of that. Can medical billers still send your bill to collections 2026? Yes. Okay. However, strict protection limits, they do this, that under $500. Okay, so if it's under $500, they can't report it anymore. But
I don't know. If anyone knows, help me understand this. My husband.
But yeah, it's kind of ridiculous that some insurance companies even call themselves insurance companies at this point in time. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Share your thoughts. Head on over to LNS Candle Co. where you can get 15% off your order using code EMPOWERMENT. And most importantly, love yourself, trust yourself, honor yourself, and value yourself. Peace.